عصف الأنين بداخلي كم مرة قد ذاق قلبي من أساه رحلا تمر وكم كرهت مصابها لكن رأيت الخير يسكب في أنا كم مرة قد ضقت من عظم البال.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. ما بعد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I don't want to go into an introduction. I've done this so many times over the past 2 years, you can say, explaining my position, explaining obviously why I'm doing this. Enough's enough now. I know you're with the program, I assume. You're with the program. But this is following on from part 1 of Ustadh Abdulrahman Hassan lazy research. As you can see, the thumbnails on screen basically goes into certain issues regarding his research and his transmission. And now this is part 2. This is part 2 of his lazy research, and we've got many parts to show you how he's in essence a transmission machine. Okay, there's no critical thinking. He's just basically transmitting. He don't really check his evidences. I think he just reads or gets information and then just regurgitates it. Now this video is going to highlight such poor research, and on top of that he has an up-and-coming podcast which he's going to address a certain mas'ala or a certain issue. I don't know what it is, but I'm guessing it's going to be about a certain topic that I've been speaking about a lot, and I will obviously wait patiently for that, and he's got a PDF coming as well. But I'm just going to send a message out to Ustadh Abdulrahman Hassan. This particular topic or this podcast that you did, the Hajji I think it's called, it's got no real connection to me per se in terms of refutation or the creed or the manhaj that I follow. It's got nothing to do with me, and that's really the issue with the particular group in question. If they want to tackle that video, break it down in totality, that's up to them. It's not my issue. But what I have got an issue with, and obviously I've highlighted it over the past 2 weeks or going on to 3 weeks, is that you don't transmit evidences sincerely. That's what it is. This is the key issue we've got with you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down a clip which is littered with distortions, or rather poor research, should I say. Distortions, yeah, to a certain extent, because it's distorting a lot of stuff, but it's more poor research that I've got an issue with. And we're going to play it all. And as you know with me, once we play all, we allow you to listen to all of it. Okay, this time I'm going to play all. Okay, I haven't got anything hidden in the background. But this is going to be following on to different parts to show you his contradictions as well. It's poor. It's poor academia. So let's listen to him at first. Okay, let's let him sort of explain his position, and then we'll break his deception down. Have a listen.
Imam Muhammad ibn Ahmad ibn Khuwaiz min Dad al-Misri al-Maliki. Ibn Abdul mentions this in his kitab Jami' Bayan al-Ilmi wa Fadli. And I'm going to read this statement. It's very powerful. That he said, أنه قال في كتاب الشهادات في تأويل قول مالك. الإمام Malik said, لا تجوز شهادة أهل البدع وأهل الأهواء. The testimony and the witnessing of the people of innovation is not accepted. Now, Imam Muhammad ibn Ahmad ibn Khuwaiz min Dad al-Misri, he wants to explain who are these people that Ahmad Malik is talking about. He said, أهل الأهواء عند مالك, the people of innovation to Malik ibn Anas. وسائر أصحابنا, and us, Malikiyya, which is another refutation of those who claim that the majority of the people are what? Ash'ira. He's saying, Ibn Abdul Barr transmitted this in his Jami' Bayan al-Ilm wa Fadli. He's saying us and the Malikiyya. And Ibn Abdul Barr is a Maliki, من أئمة المالكية, one of the greatest explanations of the kitab.
He was Ash'ari, right?
Who?
Ibn Abdul Barr.
Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
No.
Allahu Akbar. No. من أئمة السنة he was. Ibn Abdul Barr has a nice refutation on them. He's quoting, look, the statement. How's he going to be Ash'ari? He's bringing the statement of another Imam of the Maliki madhab. Pay attention here. He's saying the statement of Al-Imam Malik where he said, لا تجوز شهادة أهل البدع, the testimony of the people of innovation is not accepted. وأهل الأهواء. He's saying, Ibn Khuwaiz min Dad al-Misri saying, Al-Maliki, أهل الأهواء عند مالك, according to Al-Imam Malik, the people of innovation, وسائر أصحابنا, also us Malikiyya, is هم أهل الكلام It's the people of Ahlul Kalam. فَكُلُّ مُتَكَلِّمٍ Every person of علم الكلام فهو من أهل الأهواء والبدع. He's from the people of innovation. أشعريا كان, whether he's an أشعري أو غير أشعري, or whether he's not an أشعري. ولا تقبل له شهادة في الإسلام. His testimony should never be accepted. ويهجر. He should be boycotted. ويؤدب. He should be disciplined على بدعته in his innovation. فإن تمادى. If he's stubborn and he's still hard-headed on that issue, استتيب منها. He's requested to repent from this. Shahid, look at this point. He's saying here that we Malikiyya, this is what we believe. The Malik statement is referring to the Sha'ara. That's what he's saying.
So you heard, okay, I played it all for you. It's there. You could go check it and see if I've missed a portion out or took a portion out or added a portion in. So you heard it all, okay, and there's a lot to take in. So the crux of it is that he's quoting, okay, a scholar from the Malikiyya, and his name is Ibn Khuways, okay, Mindad. Ibn Khuways Mindad, okay. Now we'll get to this individual later, but the crux of his point, or the key message that he's bringing, is that and again, I'm an Athari who affirms Allah's names and attributes, not a Mufawwida. So just to get that out there, just in case you think, he's part of the Mufawwida. No.
Imam Muhammad ibn Ahmad ibn Khuways Mindad al-Misri al-Maliki. Ibn Abdul mentions this in his kitab Jami' Bayan al-Ilmi wa Fadlih. And I'm going to read this statement. It's very powerful.
So you heard, okay, he said that it's a powerful statement. Okay, so it's a powerful statement. So he's using this. We're going to ask him to stick to it. As I said in my tweets, consistency is what I want. Don't worry, in future videos, I'm going to show you your contradiction and your lack of principle when we break other points. So let's just get to the crux of it. What he's trying to explain is that, according to Imam Malik, okay, and his companions, meaning the Malikiyya, and this Ibn Khuways Mindad is a Maliki, and he said Ibn Abdul also quoted him. He's from the Malikiyya. We'll show you what Ibn Abdul says about him, according to a scholar later. So it's not going to be good for you, mate. So basically, the testimony of the people of innovation and desires is not accepted according to Imam Malik. He's explaining it, being a Maliki, and saying our companions, the Malikiyya, and Imam Malik, according to them, this means al-kalam. So al-ahwa, according to Imam Malik and the companions, means the people of kalam. And every person of kalam is from the people of desires and bid'ah, if he's an Ash'ari or not an Ash'ari. Key point there, Ash'ari or not an Ash'ari. So what I want to do now is get this statement out the way, okay, to show you it from the actual book, okay, because you notice Ustadh Abdulrahman Hassan never presents the books, okay, it's pieces of paper and it's his, memorization skills, okay, he's just a transmission machine, so he's just transmitted, no clarity, no understanding, just a transmission machine. So let's just present the quote first. Let me bring it to you, okay, which they don't do, okay. Here's the book, okay, that he's quoting from. Jami'u Bayan al-Ilm wa Fadlih. Okay, here's the book by Ibn Abdul. Okay, and as you can see on screen, it says that in his book, Shahadat, that fi ta'wil qawl Malik, that the interpretation of the statement of Malik, that their statement is not permissible, meaning the people of innovation and desires. And he's saying now, this is Ibn Khuways Mindad. We'll get to him to show you, you didn't do your research, mate, that the people of desires, according to Malik, and the rest of the companions, or our companions rather, that they are al-kalam. So basically, this Ibn Khuways Mindad is basically trying to insinuate that he's speaking on behalf of the Malikiyya. Okay, so let's carry on. And every mutakallim, every person of kalam, he's from the people of innovation and desires, or desires and innovation, if he's an Ash'ari, or even if he's not an Ash'ari. So it doesn't make a difference. He's a person of kalam. This al-ahwa, al-bid'ah are people of kalam. And you don't need to be an Ash'ari, okay, to fall into this. You could be not an Ash'ari as well. So later on, we'll show you who are people of kalam, okay. So according to you, is a powerful statement, so you're using this as proof. And then he mentions, obviously, continue on, just sort of pacing through it. Their testimony is not accepted in Islam. They're due to be boycotted. They need to be brought to account, meaning they need to be yu'addab ala bid'atihi. They need to be obviously brought to account because of their bid'ah. And if he's persistent on it or stubborn upon it, then he needs to make tawbah from it. Okay, so here's the book in question that he was quoting from. Jami'u Bayan al-Ilm wa Fadlih. Okay, there you go. Here's the book. So we got that out the way. You can't say that Hajji didn't show you the book, didn't show you the actual quote on screen. Now, this individual, Ibn Khuways bin Dad. Okay, Abdulrahman Hassan. Did you do your research on this guy? Okay, according to the Malikiyah, did you actually do any research on him? No. So you were using this, okay, as proof that this statement al-bid'a wa al-ahwa, okay, al-bid'a wa al-ahwa refers to the mutakallim, okay, or people of kalam. So what I want to ask you now is, what did the Malikiyya say about this Ibn Khuways bin Dad? Okay, what did they say about him? Does he represent the Malikiyya? Because that's what you were insinuating. You were being deceptive. You were insinuating that this Ibn Khuways bin Dad, he says, وَسَائِرُ أَصْحَابِنَا, that our companions, the rest of our companions believe this. Okay, so you were trying to use him as a benchmark to say he speaks on behalf of the Malikiyya. So you didn't do your homework. You are a lazy researcher. You are incompetent. And I'm going to now show you, okay, that you are a typical sectarian beast. As you can see on screen, we've got the book Tartib al-Madarik by Qadi Iyad. Okay, Qadi Iyad al-Maliki. This is what I want to get your attention to. It mentions وَعِنْدَهُ شَوَاذ عَنْ Malik, that he narrates irregularities from Malik. Irregularities. And he has like opinions and interpretations from the madhab or upon the madhab, which opposes the madhab in fiqh and in usul. Okay, so he opposes it in fiqh and in usul, according to Qadi Iyad. Listen to this. He states, okay, وَلَمْ يَكُنْ بِجَيِّدِ النَّظَرِ, he doesn't have like good insight. Okay, this Ibn Khuways bin Dad, okay, Abdulrahman Hassan, he doesn't have لم يكن بجيد النظر. He don't have like good insight. Abu Walid al-Bahi spoke about him. And listen to this. Look what he says. Subhanallah. إني لم أسمع له في علماء العراق بالذكر. Because he was from Iraq. This Abu Walid al-Bahi says, I haven't heard from the ulama of Iraq mentioning this guy. Okay, they never mentioned him. He's from Iraq. He's a Maliki, and they've never mentioned. To summarize, okay, he has hatred towards the people. Okay, and then he mentions, subhanAllah, listen to this, until he has transgressed, okay, because of his hatred, and listen to this, to the mutakallimin from Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Okay, now this is very important. Okay, and I just want to come back, so bring it back to me. Okay, so to summarize, okay, we're going to play Abdulrahman Hassan's clip back after we quote it all. So Abdulrahman Hassan, okay, and to the viewers, to the mushahideen as well, that first and foremost, he narrates irregularities from Malik. You know, it's like anti-normative stuff, and he opposes the madhab. Okay, he has opinions and ta'wilat which opposes the madhab in fiqh and in usul. So what's going on here? So Qadi Iyad is saying, وَلَمْ يَكُنْ بِجَيِّدِ النَّظَرِ, he's not really good with insight. It's not really good. وَلَا بِالْقَوِيلِ الْفِقْهِ, and he's not strong in fiqh. And this is what I want to get your attention to. That this Abu Walid al-Bahi says that, look, I've never heard the people of Iraq even mention this guy. Okay? And he had hatred or felt hatred towards the people until he transgressed against them, okay, due to his hatred of the mutakallimin from Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. So, again, I'm not an Ash'ari, nor am I a mutakallim. But what's Qadi Iyad saying? The mutakallimin min Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. That's the side point, really. When we show you contradictions in another video, we're going to show you, okay, what you said, kana ash'ariyan or ghayra ash'ariyan. Okay, even if it's Ash'ari or not, they're from the people of innovation. Regardless, you know, they're mutakallim. So we'll present you from their own testimony which scholars are mutakallim, and we want you to be brave enough now and stick to your principles. We want you to be consistent. And let's carry on now. This is the key point. So then he mentions that this Abu al-Walid al-Bahi, okay, he's mentioning that he placed a ruling on every person that they are from the people of desires, meaning the mutakallimin from Ahl Sunnah. This is according to Abu Walid al-Bahi, that he placed a ruling on every single person that they are from the people of desires, meaning mutakallimin from Ahl Sunnah, and that Malik basically is insinuating that, you know, you don't marry into them, you don't obviously take the testimony and their imamat and their Eids, etc., and their janazah.
And Abdul mentions this in his kitab Jami' Bayan al-Ilmi wa Fadli. And I'm going to read this statement, it's very powerful. That he said, أنه قال في كتاب الشهادات في تأويل قول مالك. الإمام Malik said, لا تجوز شهادة أهل البدع وأهل الأهواء. The testimony and the witnessing of the people of innovation is not accepted. Now, Imam Muhammad ibn Ahmad ibn Khuwayz Mindad al-Misri, he wants to explain who are these people that Ahmad Malik is talking about. He said, أهل الأهواء عند مالك, the people of innovation to Malik ibn Anas, وسائر أصحابنا, and us, Malikiyya, which is another refutation of those who claim that the majority of the people are what? Ash'ara. He's saying, Ibn Abdul Barr transmitted this in his Jami' Bayan al-Ilm wa Fadli. He's saying us and the Malikiyya. And Ibn Abdul Barr is a Maliki, من أئمة المالكية, one of the greatest explanations of the kitab.
He was Ash'ari, right?
Who?
Ibn Abdul Barr.
إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون.
No.
Allahu Akbar. No. من أئمة السنة he was. Ibn Abdul Barr. There's a nice refutation on them. He's quoting, look, the statement. How's he going to be Ash'ari? He's bringing the statement of another Imam of the Maliki madhab. Pay attention here. He's saying the statement of Imam Malik where he said, لا تجوز شهادة أهل البدع, the testimony of the people of innovation is not accepted. وأهل الأهواء. He's saying, Ibn Khuwayz Mindad al-Misri saying, al-Maliki, أهل الأهواء عند مالك, according to Imam Malik, the people of innovation, وسائر أصحابنا, also us Malikiyya, is هم أهل الكلام, is the people of أهل الكلام. فكل متكلم, every person of علم الكلام, فهو من أهل الأهواء والبدع. He's from the people of innovation. أشعريا كان, whether he's an أشعري أو غير أشعري, or whether he's not an أشعري. ولا تقبل له شهادة في الإسلام. His testimony should never be accepted. ويهجر, he should be boycotted. ويؤدب, he should be disciplined على بدعته in his innovation. فإن تمادى, if he's stubborn and he's still hard-headed on that issue, استتيب منها, he's requested to repent from this. Shahid, look at this point. He's saying here that we Malikiyya, this is what we believe. The Malik statement is referring to the Sha'ara. That's what he's saying.
It's this tabdi'i project you're upon. It's sewage, mate. It's gutter. It's filth that you're spreading to the people. And people are running with this. I've had experiences of 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, trying to, insult me and badger me because of you guys. Ahl al-bid'ah, Ahl al-ahwa. This rhetoric that you're bringing is toxic. You're going to carry on this path. I know you are. You ain't sincere to come out. Yasir Qadi in the meanwhile, obviously I don't want to go into it, he's more sincere than you. Even though I differ with him totally. Do you understand? Maybe I'm closer to you in manhaj. Maybe. If you want to look at it, on a grassroots level, yeah, I'm probably closer to you in manhaj and in aqidah. But Yasir Qadi is more sincere than you. He acknowledges when he makes a mistake and he retracts publicly. I've done 2 hours and 7 minutes on you. All you come back with is, I'm going to do a hot seat podcast. I'm dissecting your podcast. And this ain't even got nothing to do with me. I'm not even an Ash'ari. But haqq is haqq. Adal is adal. Insaf is insaf. Justice is justice. You understand what I mean? And I will be just in my transmission, unlike you. As you can see on screen, we've got the book Lisanul Mizan by Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani. So as you can see on screen, Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani basically quotes Qadi Iyad verbatim, as you can see on screen. He says, وَعِنْدُهُ الشَّوَادْ عَنْ Malik, that it narrates like irregularities from Malik or anti-normative, stuff from Malik, which Malik hasn't said. As he say, he has, opinions and ta'wilat, which obviously the madhab hasn't come with. He mentions some of those things. As you can see, the same statement again, وَقَدْ تَكَلَّمَ فِيهِ Abu Walid al-Bahi, that Abu Walid al-Bahi said that he's not good in insight, etc. He's not strong in fiqh, and he alleges that from the madhab of Malik, that you don't testify to the janazah of the mutakallim, and it's not permissible for their testimony and their marriage and their imama. And listen to this is what I want to get your attention to. وَطَعَنَ ابْنُ عَبْدُ الْبَرِّ فِيهِ أَيْضًا. And Ibn Abdul Barr also criticized him or slandered him. Okay, also. And then he said he died basically at the end of the 4th century. Okay. So, what happened there? Ibn Abdul Barr also slandered him and criticized him. So Qadi Iyad, Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, and Ibn Abdul Barr, whose book that this was in.
Imam Muhammad ibn Ahmad ibn Khuwaiz min Dad al-Misri al-Maliki. Ibn Abdul Barr mentions this in his kitab Jami' Bayan al-Ilmi wa Fadli.
So, you see, you try to impose this statement using it as proof for you. So we want you to be consistent when we present your contradictions in the same podcast. So I'm just showing you, mate, make sure your podcast against me is watertight if you haven't recorded it already, because I'm dissecting your deceit. And I'll be honest with you, there's so much stuff and I haven't really gone into it in depth. This is just basically a summarized rebuttal, and your distortions are not going to be locked away anymore. They're going to be out on plain sight for everyone to see. So, you see, Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani obviously brought that, the various statements from Qadi Iyad that he mentioned, and Abu Wahid al-Bali, and then he mentions obviously that he alleges, he says he alleges that the madhab of Malik, he alleges. So Ibn Hajar didn't agree with him. Ibn Hajar didn't even agree with him because he alleges. You were presenting it like it was fact, but it wasn't fact. It wasn't, because if you'd done your research, you would have known that. And then on top of that, which makes it worse for you, وَطَعَ ibn Abdul Barr fihi أيضًا. And Ibn Abdul Barr also criticized him and slandered him. But you were using him by trying to argue, but it's in the book of Ibn Abdul Barr. Explain that to me, mate. So you're just, like I said before, you're a transmission machine. You know what I mean? No substance at all. As you can see on screen, we've got the book Tabaqat al-Fuqaha. Okay, Tabaqat al-Fuqaha. So as you can see on screen, it mentions that basically it's talking about the Fuqaha, and it mentions Abu Bakr Muhammad ibn Ahmad ibn Abdullah al-Ma'ruf bi ibn Qawaz. Okay, and this is the same guy that Qadi Iyad mentioned, and Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani mentioned, and Abu Wahid al-Bali mentioned, but his name's different here. His name's different, Ibn Qawaz. Okay, so this individual is such a dubious guy. What I mean is, obviously, people in the madhab are not even trusting him. They're saying, well, we haven't even heard the people of Iraq mention this guy. Do you understand? And he narrates irregularities from Malik. He says stuff, alleges, like Ibn Hajar says, that he alleges that the madhab of Malik alleges, and you were using this as definitive, that this was the madhab of Malik. Okay? This was the madhab of Malik and Ashabina. What happened to your research, mate? You're lazy. You're poor researcher, mate. It is disgusting. And you're making tabdi'. You are calling the Ash'ara Jahmiyyah, and you're using this as proof. Okay, that Imam Malik's madhab. No, it isn't, mate. So stop lying. I have to say, this is just diabolical. Even Bobbers hasn't done stupid stuff like this, I think. Again, well, not really. They have done stupid stuff as well. But you're both the same. So I'm just flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted, Ustadh Abdulrahman Hassan. Wallahi, ittaqillah. Come out and retract. You gotta come out and retract. This is, you have to have the courage now to face the public and say, yeah, you know what, Hajji's right. That this is incorrect. But you won't. You won't. Because how dare anyone from Al-Bidah, again, you must see me as Al-Bidah, as correcting me. But you gotta swallow that pride, son. You have to swallow that pride. So as I was saying, this person's name's also, a bit dubious. Like these names like Khuwais min Dad, Ibn Khuwais, or whatever. Was it Ibn Khuwais? Hold on, let me go back into it again. I'm doing Ibn Khuwais. Yeah, Ibn Khuwais. And it's just like, what the hell? Like, who is this guy? Like, you're using him as a person of the madhab, meaning that he represents the Maliki madhab because of his statement that Malik, when he said La tajuzu shahadatahum, or shahadatuhum, that don't take their testimony. And Ibn Hajar says that, as you can see, he says that he alleges. Okay, he alleges that the madhab of Malik says do not, visit the janazas of the mutakallim. Because remember, he said that if he's a mutakallim, regardless whether he's Ash'ari or Ghair Ash'ari. Abu Wahid al-Bali says, al-mutakallimin min ahli sunnah. So something's not right, mate. Something's not adding up, honestly. So, as you can see on screen, we've got the book, Tafsir al-Qurtubi, and he quotes a statement from Ibn Khuwayz Mindad, as you can see. And then he quotes a statement from Abu Umar, which is Ibn Abdul, okay? And he says, how can he proceed and say that, this is authentic, okay? Whilst he opposes the majority of the Salaf, the general population of the Fuqaha, and a group of the Malikiyin, okay? So, this individual again, he's been criticized again, that, he's weak in fiqh. He's weak in fiqh and in usul, according to Qadi Iyad. And obviously, he's got problems. He's alleging stuff by Malik. People of Iraq don't even know who this guy is. And then you're saying, you know what? This is powerful. This is a powerful statement. There you go, Abdulrahman Hassan. Abdulrahman Hassan. Wallahi, akhi. Lesh. Huh? Why? Limada. Why are you doing this? Don't know what to say. Let's just finish this off now. As you can see on screen, we've got the book Fathul Bari by Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani. And he mentions, as you can see on screen, he states that وَحَكَاهُ Ibn Khuwayz Mindad an Malik وَهُوَ شَاذ. He says that it's been sort of narrated by Ibn Khuwayz Mindad from Malik and وَهُوَ شَاذ. Okay? وَهُوَ. I want to address those who take knowledge from him or follow him. Is he trustworthy? I've done 2 parts already. Okay, I've done 2 parts already now of lazy research. I've done 2 hours and 7 minutes. Okay, and I've done about the only time clear kufrun bawahan or kufrun bawahan. Totally nearly 3 hours. Okay, if not over 3 hours. Okay, with the extract probably 4. I say here and now, he's a fraud to knowledge. He's a fraud to knowledge. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable that he is not proceeding with thorough research. And on top of that, which makes it very devilish, I would say, is that he's using this to make tabdir. I'm not doing this because I want you to obviously come out and I'm like, yeah, I told you so. If you come out and retract and say, I made a mistake, I didn't perform my research as I should, khalas. And you make tawbah and you say, I'm sorry for misleading the people. Because at the end of the day, you are addressing an audience. You got 60,000 followers plus on your YouTube account. How many thousands of tens of thousands of people have watched that video? And they are probably going to go around and say, yeah, Imam Malik's madhab said that every mutakallim or every person of al-ahwan bid'ah is a mutakallim. And every mutakallim is from the person of, or from the people of desires and innovation, either in Ash'ari or Ghair Ash'ari. But that's not the case. He's narrating shawad from Imam Malik, irregularities, anti-normative positions that are not part of the madhab. But he was sufficient proof for you to say, this is a Maliki, he's from the Malikiyah, and this is from the ashab of Imam Malik. This is the Maliki position, that even if you're not an, even if you are a mutakallim, Ash'ari or not an Ash'ari, you're from Al-Bidah. SubhanAllah, this tabdi'i project is not getting you nowhere, Ustadh Abdulrahman Hassan. And until you don't come out now, this is another message I want to send out. Until you don't come out and at least acknowledge these videos and say, yeah, Hajji is correct, I make tawbah, I retract, or Hajji is wrong because of X, Y, and Z. And we want to see them on screen. We want to see these evidences on screen. Don't be a transmission machine. No understanding, no clarity, no sincerity, no partiality, no fairness, but just transmission. Oh, this scholar, that scholar, just put everything together. SubhanAllah, people are thinking, MashaAllah. Look at this Arabic, SubhanAllah, fasih. Look at this clarity in Arabic and look at this memorization. Look at the hifd, tabarakallah al-azim. But in reality, you're distorting. You're not transmitting as a student of knowledge which sincerity should do. You're playing with the people. You're misguiding the people. You are making tabdi' and taking the right of a Muslim. What's the difference between you and spubs? What's the difference, Lying, distortion, technicalities, half-baked quotes. I've just proved to you. Look how much evidence is brought. You are not sincere. You are a lazy researcher. You're incompetent. This is incompetency. Uqsimu billah al-azim, uqsimu billah al-azim, this is incompetency. And part 2 of lazy research. I've got more in the bank, Ustadh Abdulrahman Hassan. Until you don't come out and address these videos, I'm going to keep releasing them and keep releasing them. Yasir Qadhi came out within 15 minutes. 15 minutes and said, Hajji, you're right. It's a valid correction. Can't you do that? Are you above criticism, mate? Are you above criticism? What? Al-Bid'ah can't correct me. Al-Bid'ah can't correct me. Subhanallah al-Azim. Not that I agree with Yasir Qadhi. I done a video against him. But he's more sincere than you. He's more sincere than you. He came out within 15 minutes. What did you do after my 2-hour video? And the extracts are released. Oh, Hajji's Arabic. And, Hajji, doesn't understand. And I'm going to do a hot seat podcast. Well, you see what I've done to your hot seat podcast now, mate? You see what I've done to your hot seat podcast now, son? You understand? So this is a warning for you, mate. It's a warning. Make sure your hot seat podcast is on point. And it's watertight. And it's basically proper research, and you put it on screen, not just transmit it like a machine. Okay? So I'm warning you, Ustadh Abdulrahman Hassan, I'm not doing this because I want to score points. I want you to stop misguiding the people with this tabdi'i project. We have had enough. We have had enough with your deceit, and you've got to track history of them, mate. You've got to track history along with your student. Okay? So take this sincere message from me, my dear brother. Just be sincere. Just come out. It doesn't make you less of a man. If anything, makes you a bigger man. If anything, people will look at you and say, Allahumma barik. Look at this sincerity, humbleness, tawada, humility. And that's my message to you, my dear brother. I don't want to release these, extracts and these new videos that I've done showing your inconsistencies and your contradictions. I don't get any joy out of doing this. But if you don't come out and show me that you have got this sincerity and you have got good manners and good conduct when it comes to retraction and openly admitting your mistakes, then I'll leave them alone. I won't even release them. I'll say, Tabarakallah, Ustadh Abdulrahman Hassan came out and, admitted his mistakes and retracted. Khalas, John, why do I need to release them? You understand? I don't want to do this. But the more you remain arrogant, and the more you become stubborn and hard-headed, believe you me, those videos will come out, and the people will see the disingenuous nature, the lack of humbleness. So just be true to yourself, bro. Be true to yourself and just do the right thing. Do the right thing. And I pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides me and you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rectifies your affairs and my affairs. May Allah preserve your family. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep you safe, during this pandemic, wherever you are. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the understanding of deen as it should be understood, not following a project or a manhaj that is directed by certain players or certain, people of authority. Just see the Muslims for what they are. They're your brothers. None of this tabdi'i sort of, your mubtadi'ah, this, that, al-ahwa, this, and taking them out of context. Just stop that. And we are now taking a stand. You notice there's a movement brewing. People are fed up. People are fed up. And you're contributing to their anger. The more you remain silent, the more people are going to ask questions. Why ain't Ustadh Rahman just addressing this? But don't allow the people to have doubts about your sincerity. Because you're allowing that. You're giving them ammunition to think like that. And what happens? The more you leave it, the more you ignore it, the more you pretend it doesn't exist, then what's going to happen is they're going to see you as a person that's arrogant, and no arrogant person deserves to be on a minbar, and no arrogant person deserves to be given durus or reminders or nasiha, because they're going to say, what, this person can't even admit his own mistake. To the brothers that follow him, this refutation culture and this disparaging culture and accusing Muslims started from you guys. You guys carry on. It's like a dominoes effect. But you guys are sheep. And I hate to say it, not in a bad way. You guys are sheep. You just regurgitate and just follow on what they say. And it's easy to get deceived. I appreciate that. It's easy to get deceived. But when you really go into it, me as a grade below student of knowledge can do it. But he can't. He can't do research. Honestly, he's a poor researcher. Poor academic. Poor academia. That's the bottom line. Go send him messages and get him to come out and respond to these videos if he can. So, Your hot seat podcast, I'll sit patiently and wait. And your PDF, we'll see what technicalities you bring. And if you do, I'm sorry. I will humiliate you. I don't want to, but I will humiliate you. Because you are pretenders and frauds and charlatans. Based on your attitude. So take care of yourselves. I want to move from these refutation videos. Like I said, I've got Women Around the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam to do, as you can see on screen. The Mongol Empire, 2-part series of that educational video. I'm just looking now. I got the Ottoman Empire to do as well. I've got the book, the Mongols and the Mamalik, Saifuddin Qutuz, Muhammad al-Fatih, which is included as part of the Ottoman Empire. We could also go into the Fitan. There's loads of projects. I got Al-Kaba'ir, a series of Al-Kaba'ir of Imam Dahabi to do. Wallah al-Azim, there's loads. But look, I'm not going to sit back and allow you guys to misguide the people. I assure you, I'm not going to allow that. Bi-idnillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm not going to allow that. So take care of yourselves. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad. Don't get my beard, please. Come on. Oh, man, it takes ages. Come on. You know how long this takes? You don't realize. It jams. I got it. Another one. Come on, bismillah. See, if I look down, it gets my beard. That's what it is. Take care of yourselves. Sallallahu alaihi wa sallam.
كم مرة عصف الأنين بداخلي كم مرة قد ذاق قلبي من أساه محن تمر وكم كرهت مصابها لكن رأيت الخير يسكب في أنا كم مرة قد ضقت من عظم البلاء بشر وشيطان يحاصرني أباه كم مرة قد أظلم الدرب ضحى وتحدر الدمع وضاقت بي رؤى كم مرة عصف الأنين بداخلي كم مرة قد ذاق قلبي من أساه محن تمر وكم كره